do it again.
Is that the sound of dial-up?
Did you not have that, Tommy, when you grew up?
I was on the tail end of that.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, my lantern. I did have an open, but that totally derailed me, and I forgot it now.
I wish I could enter into your mind and just watch the, like, I'm just imagining the ideas or, like, the thoughts just, like, fall off a cliff like Wile E. Coyote. Woo! Holding up a sign.
It's not that interesting. It's AD&D brain. AD&D?
AD&D brain.
AD&D brain.
Like Baldur's Gate.
Ooh, that's a dragon.
Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy.
Ooh, look at a dragon.
Ooh, another piece of candy.
Yeah.
Thanks, James Wood.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob. Welcome back.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
We're doing our part.
I didn't do fucking shit.
Welcome back to TJ's Mixtape, everyone. If you joined us last week, we did The Omen. So thank you for listening. And if this is your first time, we are two long friends that have like to talk about movies. So,
we love movies.
So we are going to kind of talk about the history of the movie a little bit, who was in it, and then kind of the themes. And
you know what's kind of weird to think about is like when we first became friends, we kind of like bonded over really liking movies, but we never really like truly understood how much we both love movies until like later.
Much later.
Yeah.
I apologize for my appearance.
He chipped his tooth.
Chipped my tooth
10 years ago.
10 years ago, and it fell off.
Have you talked to a dentist yet?
Not yet.
Are you not going to worry about it? Or I guess
No.
you have other things you're worrying about.
Yeah,
right now. Hey!
gotta
like manage democracy.
like managing democracy. So this episode was inspired by a little unknown indie game called...
Nobody knows what it is.
No one knows what it is. Called Helldivers 2.
There's not millions of players on.
Which Jacob and I have been enjoying, and as you said, spreading democracy. So
managed democracy.
Managed democracy. Good job at the creek, by the way, everyone. That was kind of crazy.
But I wasn't there for it.
I wasn't there for it either. So we failed.
I didn't do fucking shit.
But shit, did it in 5 hours.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah,
crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
No, I guess I didn't get any medals for it.
Yeah, no.
I think you only get medals if you like participate. Just like you think you just have to participate in one mission.
You just have to jump in.
Yeah,
every little bit helps.
It's true.
But that inspired us to do a little movie that I kind of feel is an interesting one to do because people our age will definitely know it, but I feel like maybe the younger people won't. And basically, if you like Helldivers, you should check out this movie. You haven't seen it. We are doing 1997's Starship Troopers.
You want to give a synopsis?
Oh. Yeah.
Helldivers?
Helldivers, but the movie. In a fascist, materialistic future, humans face a violent war against giant bugs.
Yes.
Sound familiar?
There's no robots, though. No automatons.
Not on... We don't know. They're never talked about.
Well, you know what? There's also three sequels.
In the book, there's another race.
Is there?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I only did a little bit of research into the book.
I didn't know it was a book.
Neither did I.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I feel like there's going to be kind of a lot to unpack.
Why are you like talking like Keanu Reeves surfer dude, bro?
It's 97.
1997, man. Bro. Yo, are you just trying not to get the lisp out of your tongue?
I've actually gotten pretty good at it.
Yeah. Oh fuck. I was gonna say something. I can't remember. Anywho, all right. So yeah, Starship Troopers. Yeah, it's very clear if you have played Helldivers, like this movie, this story, one of the biggest inspirations for it.
Yeah, and that is actually even one of my selling points to you. When I got it first, I was like, dude, this is Starship Troopers.
Well, do you remember when I got it and like the first day on the podcast, I was like, this is fucking stupid. I spent 40 minutes trying to get into the lobby. What are you looking at? Oh.
I don't know.
Pocket?
In my
pocket
pocket
watch.
Nope. I have no idea where it is. I hear it.
Oh my God.
It's just 30 seconds. Okay.
Oh, then okay. I thought it was just gonna keep going.
Well, I thought I could find it faster. I didn't think it. So yeah, this is fucking stupid. That sounds like robot talk. You clanker.
Well, now I'm just. Whoa, my eye. We're falling apart, dude.
Called you a clinker and your eye started twitching. That's suspicious.
No, I was kind of like this eye just got really fuzzy.
What do you think, divers?
All right, let's talk about Starship Troopers.
It's gonna be hard to separate the two. But yes, Starship Troopers, first released November 4th, 1987.
It was West Hollywood premiere,
and then general release November 7th in 97.
I think I watched this movie for the first time. I want to say VHS. Actually, I think this was parents renting it, and my dad loved this movie.
It's funny watching it again. This is in this is kind of funny too. This is in the RoboCop vein in the sense that in the sense that I watching it now realize that I watched this way too young. I did not remember how grotesquely violent it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't remember how violent this was.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's funny because that's one of the things I was like anticipating all of the deaths, and even like the bugs are grotesque in a weird way. Like the brain bug, it's a very like vaginal looking.
I remember that
thing.
being the joke about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I remember
like the sensor when they like stab the thing into its
yeah.
and it's like that wasn't pornographic at all.
This movie's funny. This also, well, let's start off with what we usually do. Obviously, did you enjoy this?
Oh, fucking course.
Yes, I fucking loved this.
Yeah.
And I remember I was talking to my mom actually about it, and she had some nice things to say from which she basically hadn't seen it in a while.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys watch it together?
No.
Ah.
But I don't think she'd like it now because of the violence.
I mean, that's fair. I do also think your mom would enjoy the irony of it and the satire.
That's
very
what
much.
I was going to get to. Next thought was that I kind of, because I remember people having weird mixed feelings about this. This movie was kind of really ahead of its time.
It was, in a weird way.
And watching it now, you're like, this movie is actually probably one of the better solo sci-fi.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure you already looked at it in the retrospective.
There's a lot of, I just thought it was funny because I had that thought before reading or watching it again.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just have this gut feeling that it was kind of ahead of its time.
Yeah.
In hindsight.
I feel like I may have watched this movie more recently than you have then.
Oh, I haven't watched it in 10 years or something.
Oh,
like
man.
that.
Okay, yeah. No, I definitely, I mean, well.
And it is now going to be, I'm going to casually throw it on there because it's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fucking. This movie's wild. Let's just start off with that.
Yeah.
And there are going to be people that have a lot of problems with it. I get it, but that's kind of the point.
That's what the point is. Yeah.
The point is to have a problem.
Well, let's get into that and the director and why that's the point of it.
Yes. So our director. Can't read my writing.
Paul Verhoeven. Who is he is a Dutch filmmaker, like started in Germany. Dutch is German. No, yes.
He is a Dutch filmmaker, but he, when he was a young boy in 1943, lived in the Netherlands next to a German Nazi military base, which is very important to know about that because of this movie.
And other movies he's done.
Yeah, you're like, oh. Yeah. So he had a very young first-hand experience with a fascist military
watching
group,
it, and
which you're like, that's wild because I think he was born in 38 and then 43, so he was.
Well, he was born in 38, so then he was 5.
Yeah.
So his earliest memories,
his earliest formative years was
Jojo Rabbit,
Nazi occupied. So you're like, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
That's an interesting mindset.
No, exactly. And then to come and become a filmmaker and so he's probably this movie and then his also most famous movie is RoboCop, the original RoboCop.
Yes.
And if you don't know RoboCop, it's most famously known for its over-the-top violence, much like this movie as well a little bit.
We need to do that one.
The OG?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I haven't watched that forever. And
neither have I, actually.
Yeah.
But I mean, I recently watched the remake, which I didn't mind, but after kind of reading some more stuff about the OG to the remake of it, I see why a lot of people are let down with the remake, because they put it into more of they made it into much of a reality. Like there was still social commentary happening.
Yeah, but the original was kind of like satire.
Exactly. It didn't feel
about excessive force and
exactly.
I mean, with the remake, it was cool because of the what they could just make RoboCop do. You know, he wasn't like this anymore. Exactly. He which is cool. But RoboCop, Total Recall.
Yeah, I was about
the original '90s one.
Hollow Man, which is
a horrifying movie.
Yeah, it's the Invisible Man.
Yeah, that's a
Invisible Man getting real fucking invisible.
That's a fucking creepy ass Kevin Bacon, man.
That movie would not really get made today. Maybe ish. I mean, I guess.
I think it would in like an independent A24 kind of way. I know it's a weird statement.
I know what you mean.
That realm.
Yeah, make it more of a metaphor.
Yeah.
Like let the metaphor. I mean, they kind of already did.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point of the Invisible Man. Is what happens to a human when they no longer have consequences.
Yeah.
So, and the insanity that, and they nailed it with that one.
Paul Verhoeven, also director of Showgirls, which...
The Academy Award winning film.
It's really interesting about that movie is... The Showgirls is how... It's also kind of like Paul Verhoeven doing... He's doing a social commentary, not really a satire, on... just like the business, that world of like, showgirls and stripping and all of that and whatnot.
I don't really remember. What is so terrible about that movie?
I don't remember. Not actually.
I don't remember what.
I think it was more of like, again, for its time, it was like not, because it's a huge cult classic now and people like have nothing but good things to say about it in retrospect.
Really?
Yeah. And like a big thing was like, Elizabeth, is it Elizabeth Berkley? Is that her name? The lead actress? I think that's her name. She was Jessie in Saved by the Bell.
Right, yeah. She was in Saved by the Bell. Yeah.
And so like this whole thing...
Didn't this kind of kill her career right as it was taking off?
Yeah.
Basically?
And there was this whole thing...
Such a bummer.
I remember there's like an interview with her where she was talking about if she wanted to accept the role or not. And she was talking about it with her mom. And she was like the excessive nudity... And apparently, like her mom was like, "Well, do you think this could earn you an Academy Award?" And Elizabeth Berkley was like, "Well, it's with Paul Verhoeven. It is like I trust his vision as a filmmaker. So yeah, she went with it, and she got like nominated for a Razzie, and all the bullshit happened with that. But like the movie, it was a commentary on everything, and people just looked at it as like softcore porn, pretty much. Like they didn't take it seriously because of all the nudity in it. And
well, I mean, that's just a classic thing in this part of the world, America,
Mm-hmm.
Western society particularly, is we can handle people's heads getting chopped off left and right, but
you show a nipple.
Whoa.
You show a female nipple.
You
show some pubes.
Sir.
You want to show some pubes?
Sir.
No.
Need to talk to you outside for a second. And it's just kind of mind-blowing.
I know.
That's
how you train people for the military. Get them, like, make them used to all the violence and the killing. But make all the sex taboo.
I really would love to get or make it even like a physical hell diver's manual, because they give you the tips when you're diving in. One of them is don't forget to practice your desensitivity exercises.
Oh my god, that's funny. I haven't seen that one yet.
That one's good.
Also, Paul Verhoeven also directed Basic Instinct as well. So like, Paul Verhoeven is super known for like social commentary, satire, and like erotic. Like
I was gonna say, and even then too, it's like
hyperized like sexualism.
Is there this weird part of me that feels this might be a weird thought, but just real quick, Showgirls and Devil Wears Prada. Isn't she like, I'm trying to remember Showgirls. Isn't she like the young up and coming, and she goes under the wing of like the seasoned, knows the ins and outs dancer, and then it creates a conflict?
Kind of.
Between them?
A little bit,
because she's the up and coming young
It's more complicated than that.
Okay.
But you have an idea and a general idea of it. But you also got to remember, this is like that's like a 2.5 hour long movie, maybe almost 3 hours.
Showgirls?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's long.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot in that. But all right, let's move forward to writers and one. Oh, we should have started with the book, I guess, or just really quick. Based on a book, I guess we did already say that. Written by Robert A. Heinlein. It is of the same name, right? Starship Troopers.
It was originally titled Starship Soldiers.
Okay.
And then got changed to Starship Troopers. Mm-hmm. I think that I can't remember. It was like, I think he originally wrote it as Starship Soldiers, and then when it was published
as a book,
it was
because it was originally
Troopers.
released as like a 2-part in a science fiction magazine. This is from 1959.
Yeah, and then Robert, I just thought was also kind of a little background, was an American sci-fi author, obviously, but also an aeronautical engineer and naval officer.
Yeah.
So again, a very interesting point of view into this militarized fascist.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting as well is kind of like the novel seems to be a lot more of just a straight like social commentary, not satirical at all, like not really over the top from what I gathered,
and a coming of age in this world, in this world that we're talking about.
Yeah. And a lot of like the stuff that the political views that are brought up still controversial to this day. Like he kind of like is propagating for like capital punishment and like some shit.
Yeah.
So like it's interesting that, and also Robert A. Heinlein, he's considered part of like the big three of like the sci-fi people of that era, like Isaac Asimov and Arthur C. Clarke. Mm-hmm. Like he's part of but like what Paul Verhoeven and the screenplay writer Edward Neumeier did to the story, I think they saw what the kind of like the realness and seriousness of what Heinlein was writing, and they're like, well, that's just kind of funny now in retrospect.
Yeah.
Let's really like lean into that and make us realize how fascist that really it feels.
Well, yeah, and you're also kind of in a weird, just thought of this in the sense of what we're talking about is a title, a piece of work that is spanning decades, that has such a huge window for retrospect.
Oh, yes.
Because even right here too, where is it? Robert's work sometimes had controversial aspects, such as plural marriage and the man in the marsh the moon is a harsh mistress, materialism in Starship Troopers, and technology competent women characters who were formidable yet often stereotypically feminine, such as Friday. And these are all very controversial things at that time. And then you go into this time where we're making the movie, and the 97s and the 2000s had a very
specific lens,
especially for military.
Yeah.
At this time, everything going on.
Well, you also got to remember, this is pre 9/11.
Yes. Pre 9/11. And then now jumping to today, then looking at it all through now our lens, you have a really long retrospect to kind of look into.
Yeah.
And it was really fascinating to read about.
Oh, I bet.
Especially because of all these lenses. You know, you have the Navy officer, and then you get the director who lived next to a fucking Nazi camp when he was 5 years old, watching all that shit go down, where his neighbors were killed by a bombardment that went wrong. And, you know, there's all these wild things. So it was just really, I was pleasantly surprised because I just did not think there was going to be this much. There's so much more to this movie.
Which also kind of makes you like think back when it came out in 97 and it was kind of like kind of
critically panned. Yeah.
And whatnot. And there's all of this rich history.
You wouldn't think Starship Troopers has so much behind it.
Well, in retrospect as well, I'm sure you'll get into it. It's now considered one of the best sci-fi films ever made.
Well, yeah, and it's also, but like, that's the thing too, is that it's really stupid in a lot of ways in its humor, just because it is very two-dimensional with its like none of its characters to me are none of them are very interesting.
They're not meant to be.
No, exactly. But you don't really get that if you actually sit there and you like that's what we're trying to do here.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's kind of hilarious.
Paul Verhoeven even like has like a comment about like they were like, oh, it's like, you know, it's idolizing like fascism and whatnot. And he's like, no, we're making fun of it. Like, what did you watch?
Well, yeah, I read somewhere too that it was like if you start seeing the controversy in fascism in something like this, we want you to.
Yeah,
we want you to see that. That's the
point.
Yeah, like we're not doing it accidentally. Like we're doing as filmmakers.
Like,
it is the point.
That was fascist.
That was kind of fascist. I didn't realize that.
Oh wow! I didn't realize I was making that.
Yeah. He's like, no, that's the point. But yeah, so our screenplay writer was Edward, as you said.
Say the last name.
No. Neumeier?
Neumeier.
No. America's screenplay writer known for RoboCop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And all this. He wrote all the sequels. He wrote every single sequel to Starship Troopers.
And if you were unaware, which I was totally unaware, the Starship Troopers is a franchise.
Well, it became one eventually.
Yeah, there are 3 live-action movies, 2 animated movies, a video game called Helldivers, if you've never heard of it.
There's also Starship Troopers video game.
What? I missed that one.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's called Helldivers, what I just said.
Democracy. God damn it. Oh, yeah, and also kind of going in like there was an 88 anime made of the book, which apparently holds more.
88.
1988 anime.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of 88 like 80s anime.
Voltron.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball. I mean, Toriyama obviously is a very specific like.
Yeah.
But like, what were you gonna say? Like, okay.
No, that'll be later if we get to it or not.
Yeah, but I just want to say I really want to watch the anime because it seems like that it is a lot more honest or a more direct interpretation of the original story. Mm-hmm. So it's more of a social commentary, but like serious.
Yeah,
you know, and then also it's this is the original story is cited as a source of where powered armored exoskeletons came from. Like Robert A. Heinlein created the idea of a powered armored exoskeleton. Like Starship Troopers started it.
That's cool,
right?
So
without that,
Fallout, Gundam,
Voltron,
Voltron. That's interesting.
Right? Isn't that really
cool?
Yeah,
it's a really interesting.
Yeah. All right. Let's go into acting now, actors and whatnot.
Yeah, give me, since I didn't write everyone, let me pull it.
Well, let's just really quick. I mean, we'll start off with our lead, Casper Van Dien, who's really, I think, just mostly known for this movie. He is also he plays Tarzan in the Tarzan and the Lost City movie. I've never seen it. I've heard of it.
He looks like a 90s Tarzan.
Yeah, right. He's in a Sleepy Hollow. Most recently in a movie called Monsters of California. And it's a Tom DeLonge from Blink-182 produced film about aliens existing.
Okay.
And teenagers finding aliens.
I mean, he's also Johnny Cage.
Yep. Oh, only in like a handful of games, but yeah.
Yeah, he looks like fucking Johnny Cage.
Yeah, he could play Johnny Cage.
He could play Johnny Cage. Dude, that jaw... My God, his head is a fucking square.
Yeah, he could fucking cut a fucking piece of glass.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Crimson Chin.
Yeah.
He's a great Crimson Chin.
Here comes the Crimson Chin, my arched mandible. That's like the best running joke in that show. I love that so much. I love the Crimson Chin.
I love that. I just watched your childhood just replay in front of you.
I don't know what it is, but I love superhero characters within a world. Mm-hmm. I just think, I don't know why I find it so,
because it's always kind of like making fun of the worlds that we love as well.
And now that I think about it, Fairly Odd Parents has the best ones. They have Crimson Chin. They have Catman, who was Adam West.
Oh, that's...
And he was like a delusional TV superhero that thought he was part cat. And just Adam West is like William Shatner. They both just made a career out of just
making fun of themselves.
Yeah, and having fun with it. And I'm like, good on you. That's such a cool thing to do. And they also had Captain Nebula, who was like their Buzz Lightyear.
Okay.
I just realized they're
Space Ranger.
Space Ranger guy, I just realized they had all of them. But yeah.
That was Casper Van Dien.
He plays Johnny. He's also in an episode of Monk. Monk is just, I've come to realize, is like also one of those Law and Orders.
Yeah.
Just everybody's been in one of these.
Well, there was like 10 seasons.
Yeah. And it's just, it was a good starting point to like kind of get some airtime.
I mean, he's a lot of television.
A lot of television.
We were kind of talking about it last week. He's one of those guys that like a lot of television stuff. This was possibly his big breakout, and then it just kind of nothing happened.
Yeah.
Also, if you kind of think, what's weird to think about is if maybe this movie was interpreted in the right way when it came out in 1997, maybe he would have had more of a bigger career.
That's just the thing with acting. I feel like in general, a lot of the time, there's a lot of gambling involved.
Oh, dude, it totally
Who see
is.
what.
Mm-hmm.
And
the interpretation of it, and
there's a lot of different, because even what we're talking about years later, a retrospective, it's not that bad actually, it's actually pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. It's like, that doesn't really do anyone any help fucking so many years later.
Yeah, exactly.
Up next, who do you want to do?
I got Denise next, I guess.
Denise Richards, who plays Carmen.
The girl he goes to war for.
Yeah. It's like, you want to go, this is so ridiculous, where you're like, well, they're teenagers. So
yeah, exactly.
Makes sense. Drop Dead Gorgeous. Famous making out scene in Wild Things. Don't remember that movie's very good, but I also have this weird thing with Matt Dillon.
I don't remember.
It's like a crime drama, right?
Yeah.
It's a murder thing.
Yeah.
It's like, was a Bond girl for Pierce.
No World for Tomorrow or something.
The world is enough.
The world is not enough.
It is not enough. Drop Dead Gorgeous, which is fucking hilarious.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
We were playing it. I've only watched it on
the
thing, and it was, from what I saw, I'm like, this is really, it's the dark miscongeniality.
Yeah.
It's like really dark.
It's a very dark, very black comedy. Yeah, dark comedy.
Yeah, it's miscongeniality meets Heathers.
I kind of get that Drop Dead Gorgeous. Wait, Drop Dead Gorgeous is the beauty pageant one, right?
With Christy Allett.
Yeah, okay. I get that, and strangely Jawbreaker confused.
I could kind of see that.
Just because they're like similar era, but very... I guess Jawbreaker is a dark comedy. Drop Dead Gorgeous is, yes, a dark, but also more of a satire as well.
Yeah, about the world of pageantry.
Yeah.
Up next, Dina Meyer.
Yeah, I was about to say I got Dina Meyer next.
Who plays Dizzy, who we talked about in episode 5.
Johnny Mnemonic. I was like, holy shit.
I'm assuming that we talked about her.
Yeah, she was the...
I don't remember anything about Johnny Mnemonic. That was like 3 years ago.
She's the one that like...
takes him to the dolphin. Yeah.
So yeah, of course we talked about her because she was like she's the female lead.
Well, yeah, we talked about her in episode 5.
Yeah.
For reference, we're in episode 184. So
yeah, and she's also Barbara Gordon in The Birds of Prey.
I wrote that down for you.
Okay, because you bought me the DVD for it.
She's in Monk.
She's in an episode of Monk.
Yeah. Oh, and something I've been kind of advocating to do forever. She's one of the leads in Dragonheart.
Yeah.
Very like
she is the female lead in that.
She's the female lead, yeah. But Dragonheart,
good
movie. Made me cry as the little boy. There you go. I finally figured it out. I was trying to figure out like what movie probably made me cry the hardest when I was a kid. Probably Dragonheart.
Born to be Wild, where the kid has to he goes on a journey with a gorilla to release it back into the wild.
All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah, that kind of made me cry too.
Yeah, Charlie.
You can never come back.
Oh my God, that's kind of haunting to think about. Oh, and who were we thinking? We were thinking of Connie Nelson.
Oh, in Advocate.
That's what we were confusing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got. Do you want to do Neil Patrick next then? I guess, or do you want? Yeah.
Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris.
I mean, I guess everybody. Let's kind of just like
do Neil Patrick Harris, who plays Carl. Neil fucking Patrick Harris. I don't know what to tell you.
Doogie Howser, Barney from How I Met Your Mother.
Dr. Horrible sing along blog,
host of the Tonys for multiple years, song and dance man.
More recently, Series of Unfortunate Events Netflix original.
Very wholesome, nice man
who plays a total pig
in How I Met Your Mother as Barney,
and a lot of and Harold and Kumar.
Lap dance.
Jake Busey Plays Ace. I only Frighteners. It's the only thing that I can really think of.
I mean, he's in a lot of other stuff. But yeah, Frighteners is kind of like the big thing. And he is the son of Gary Busey. Huh?
Terrifying.
In Frighteners?
Just as a person.
You gotta separate his father from him.
No, there's a scene in this.
He's got a big mouth.
That's what I'm saying. There's a scene where they're dancing, and he's playing the violin after they're like the neon violin, and he's like setting up the mood for him, but he's going.
Yeah,
it is horrible. I was like, God damn, those teeth and the eyes.
He would play the Joker.
Oh yeah, and the Frighteners. He was great in Frighteners.
Oh, he's a wonderful in Frighteners.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
But no, actually, now that I think about it, think of like his long face with like the sharp features. He would be an excellent looking Joker,
and a great voice.
Yeah,
he's got a great voice for it.
Yeah.
God
damn it, DC, get on this shit.
He's his son. Jake Busey's he's his son.
Yeah, Jake Busey is Gary Busey's son.
Okay. Sure, I wasn't sure what the relation was. Doing great.
All right. So then we got Patrick Muldoon, who's kind of like the asshole other love interest who's trying to
Xander.
Yeah. Then we got Clancy Brown,
Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, I think we've talked about Clancy Brown, didn't we? Or was that? I think we've talked about him, but maybe not in like a movie.
I can't think of what movie.
Was he in?
He was in Cowboys and Aliens.
Okay.
So yes, we have talked about him.
And then I got Michael Ironside, who is in Total Recall, the OG one.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Which is why I thought we had talked about him. And
he's wonderful.
Dean Norris, who is like the at the academy, the like dean or whatever, dean or commanding officer
from Breaking Bad.
From Breaking Bad, yeah. Seth Gilliam, who is part of Rico, or not Rico's. What's Michael? What the Roughnecks?
The Roughnecks.
What was the what? It's before Rico takes over. It's
his name. The Razak.
Razak's Roughnecks. Yeah,
Razak's Roughnecks.
Seth Gilliam is the priest from Walking Dead.
Gabriel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gabriel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was one of those. I was like,
holy shit!
God, he's a baby.
Look at that baby.
Oh, baby.
And then I also wrote down Brenda Strong, who is the flight captain.
Oh, yeah. She looks familiar.
She's in Fear the Walking Dead is kind of like...
she's in Walking Dead, too?
Fear the Walking Dead. Yeah. I know.
It's all one giant.
She's one of those, like, she's in a lot of stuff. That's all the names I've written down. There's probably more people. I didn't write down... Oh, like, the dude that gets his head blown off, he's in stuff. I can't remember his name. The guy that's other friend, Kitten, he's in a lot of other stuff.
Well, yeah, like even Mr. Rico, Christopher Curry looked familiar. There's just a lot of people.
Oh, the fucking lieutenant or colonel that they save in the...
Yeah, there's just a lot of familiar 90s familiar faces in this.
So people our age would watch it and be like,
hey, look at that. Yeah. If you're younger than us, you
that
probably
fucking Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. That thing, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like if you're our age, you'd probably recognize these people just from your life, but if you're any younger, I would say maybe not, except for a hand like Gabriel.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, fuck, that was let's get into reviews, I guess.
All right, give us a score.
They're all pretty even on the same, like all around the same thing. IMDb's got a 7.3. And then Rotten Tomatoes got a 72% tomato meter and a 70% audience score.
All right.
Which I was like, oh yeah. I kind of feel like if this might get a higher rating on all that stuff today. Like if it didn't have all maybe the negatives from back in the day, and to put it today, it might be just a little bit more closer to 1982.
On Metacritic, it has 52 out of 100, which comes out to mixed or average, and so we have 7 positive.
Did you say 52 out of 100?
52 out of 100.
That's its rating?
Mm-hmm. As an overall, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So 7 positive, 10 mixed, and 3 negative. Which that kind of like the 10 mixed kind of like, I get the. So I picked a couple because I felt like there was a lot of. This is depending on your, like we were saying, your lens For a positive, I picked Owen Gleiberman, who gave an 83 out of 100, who wrote for Entertainment Weekly. The movie is sensationally exciting.
Okay, really quick, can you check? Am I recording on mine?
The little red dot's blinking.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
What?
It's like the blue dot's not blinking up here. Okay.
I mean, do the red numbers have...
It's the red numbers are counting up?
No, it's blinking, no? The light's blinking.
Fuck me. We'll figure that out.
You're going to have to use an icon for you again, maybe?
I think so, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that. It's just me. Oh, no, I wish I didn't know.
All right, sorry. Go again with your review.
So Owen Gleiberman gave it a positive with an 83 out of 100 for Entertainment Weekly. This movie is sensationally exciting. But, that's the way I wrote it down. I forgot which one. But it's, hey, kids, let's put on a war storyline plays like Beverly Hills 90210 recast as a military recruitment film for the Third Reich.
Jesus.
That made me laugh so hard. And they gave it a positive. I was like, I don't know if that's in the right category.
Maybe they're writing a satirical review for a satirical movie, I guess.
It's just that phrase, the Third Reich, just has so much. You're like, oh, hello.
Yeah.
It's your attention. For another positive, kind of a low one, 67 out of 100 by Russell Smith at Austin Chronicle. Wall to Wall Blood and Guts laced with surprisingly keen social satire, much of it targeting the fatuousness of media culture.
Yes.
Just
My brain checked out as I started thinking about the
Yeah.
camera again.
gonna be all distracted now.
Yeah, a little bit. All right, and focus.
So mixed 60 out of 100 by Richard Schickel at Time. Maybe the filmmakers are so lost in their slam band visual effects that they don't give a hoot about the movie's scariest implications.
I guess they're thinking of the implications of like the misinterpretation of the militarization and the like they feel like it's like, oh, they feel like this is glorifying fascism.
Well, and even like the kind of the inspiring thing, what inspired us to do this was the whole Helldivers kind of humor, and even then it's like they're doing this research actually stumbled upon other stuff about that, and it was the same kind of thing that some people are taking it too far in the actual.
Yeah. It's almost kind of in this lens of like some people are like, you can't joke about that.
Yeah,
it's like, how dare you joke about that? Joking about that is just continuing the oppression of like what everyone.
Yeah, or it's idle. It's like, but to put it, it's idolizing it.
Yeah,
too is the problem. And it's kind of like, well, I don't know. It's telling someone not to make their art.
Yeah.
You don't have to like it. Don't watch it. Respect it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it, but respect it and just leave it alone, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I don't watch shit I don't like. I don't know. But anyways. Our boy reviewed this. Roger Ebert, what do you think he gave it?
3.5.
A 50.
50?
You get a 50 out of 100. Roger Ebert.
I thought he did stars.
He does, but with Metacritic, they just...
Oh. So he gave it a 2 out of 4?
2 out of 4.
Okay.
Faithfully represents Heinlein's materialism, his big brother satire, his big brother state, and a value system in which the highest good is to kill a friend before the bugs can eat him. The underlining ideas are the most interesting aspect of the film. And I was like,
he's not wrong.
No, he's not. That's kind of what we were saying too, is that as more an adult too, you're sitting there and you're like, this is it's terrifyingly hilarious.
Yeah.
It's terrifying that this is a thing but it's hilarious because this has been a thing, which is
Yeah.
also in itself terrifying. So it's this kind of weird loop that you fall into.
Well, it's interesting and the idea of like the idealization of fascism is because there is no it's this is the world that they live in is automatically that. So and we're watching these people, these soldiers, just accept that reality for themselves and then go fight bugs.
Well, yeah, let's also, just for maybe those that don't remember or haven't seen it, let's just give the context that when we are introduced to this new futuristic parallel Earth, whatever you want to call it, this different Earth, the democracy has been altered into a material. I can't say that fucking word. Get fucked.
Militarized.
A militarized government to where the veterans took control and then swapped the system. So when we first, and I just thought, honestly, even as a writing point, their world building felt very natural and it didn't feel shoved down your throat like, that's just what's happening.
Well, what's interesting is that
which is weird because it's a fascist government.
Well, and the way that they are doing it is kind of shoved down your throat because of the propaganda films that they like have interspersed through it, but it feels natural.
Yeah, well, but even then when we're in the high school and and that's when we learn about this is the change of government, it's a teacher talking to his students. So it's Ironside talking to his students.
Yeah.
And it just was I just was like, okay, this is a very good way of spinning the yarn, to let us know what this world is.
And it also does a really good job of introducing our characters and their personalities.
Yeah, we have Rico, our lover boy, who's with the popular girl that doesn't really give him the time of day, but the girl behind him is
thirsty as fuck,
swooning over him.
Thirsty.
But yeah, so I just thought that was really good. And then, like you said, you get these really great propaganda.
Yeah.
Learn more, kind of like.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just really fun. And it's just in that humor style.
Well, and even like in those propaganda things, it's as if you're on like a website scrolling through like
clickbait.
Yeah.
It's all clickbait, basically. Yeah. And that was
in a 1997 way.
Yeah.
Would you like to watch more?
Yeah. No, learn more. But yeah, it was just a very interesting way. It was a very clever way of doing it. Then our last one I just put down, no name, unfortunately on none of them. Oh no, that one does. 30 out of 100 at Saloon. In this bizarrely discordant mixture of ultra-violent action footage, bad acting, crisp special effects, and futuristic camp, the remnants of Heinlein's rhetoric of military pride stick out like a grimy Marine uniform at a high-toned Hollywood party.
I don't really think there was bad acting in this. I mean, that's probably a review from that time, where they're looking at the over the topness of everything and the two-dimensional characters, And
something that really stuck out to me about this was the crisp special effects, because maybe like
for the time, and even for now, not bad.
This is wild.
The bugs look great.
Even the space is cool. It's got that cool 90s feel to it. It's got that. To me, honestly, it kind of does have. I would even compare with certain scenes in like Fifth Element.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Where it's like, and then it made me look it up, which I haven't really done in a while. But yeah, this had
who did that?
Well, it had $110 million budget, up to $110 million budget.
Damn.
And grossed 121. So they spent some money on the costumes and special effects. But even with the costumes looking maybe a little cheeky and dated, that was also a 90s sci-fi thing in a lot of stuff. Because even Fifth Element, which is another kind of iconic of this period sci-fi movie, those are really campy, cheeky costumes.
But it's also meant to be campy.
But if it's more...
Yeah.
But that's the same thing happening here, but I just think because it's supposed to be... I feel like with this, it's more grounded in our reality of this is our future. Fifth Element was kind of its own... It was so sci-fi that everything got a little more wiggle room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the last one, 20 out of 100, Washington Post by Rita Kempley. It's exactly like Star Wars if you subtract a good story, sympathetic characters, intelligence, wit, and moral purpose.
Why did you even read that one? That's just a bad review.
Because I knew I was going to say you. I knew it was going to make you angry, and I'm a bully. And I'm proud of myself.
You're like, and that's the reaction I wanted.
And that's exactly what I wanted.
God damn it. Well, so, I mean, one of the interesting things to think about with this movie, and like, I started really thinking about the style, or I should say the styles of satire in general, because like, I never really thought about the satirical nature of this film because it being an action film and just like the idea of satirical action films. I never really thought about because I think satire is so much in just a realm of comedy.
Oh, in the realm of like scary movie, not another teen movie.
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Like making fun of the genres and the way that they do their type thing.
I mean, this is on point. This is on par with Mystery Men to me.
Because like I would even say like yeah. I mean, fair, yes, and I see that. But like I would even say like Austin Powers is a satire
Of like the Bond world.
of Bond and spy stuff, you know, and I see that, you know, it's like when they lean super hard into the comedy. Paul Verhoeven, when he does his satire, he doesn't lean into the comedy over the topness like that. He leans into the violence. He leans into the social commentary of it. Mm-hmm. So, and I was saying the thing is like, that's what makes RoboCop and like this. And yeah, I mean, Mystery Men is a kind of a good example as well. There's a grounded sense of reality for these characters in this world that is making fun of a perspective of our world, you know?
Yeah. Like this. Yeah, that's actually a really good way of putting it, because like not another teen movie just on that realm and that spectrum of it.
Yeah, is a goofy
in its own little bubble movie.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like that. All this.
It's
is
like a weird
world.
conglomeration of all of these teen movies put into the same world.
Yeah, as opposed to this, where it actually feels like
this is a world that has been created to make a commentary.
Yeah, like you could take, honestly, and I don't feel like we haven't had this conversation in a while, but Starship Troopers, you could take today and you could make a really good, maybe limited series out of it.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Super easily. You can't do that with not another teen movie.
No.
There's not enough there to unpack to.
Well, I mean, I think just like the rich history of this as well, being a classic sci-fi novel, you know.
Yeah.
Like there's just more material to unpack with it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting is like even Paul Verhoeven, he apparently like he didn't even finish the book. He thought it was boring.
Yeah, he read like 2 chapters and was like, no.
Yeah. He's like, this is boring. I'm just going to make my movie.
And then also I think that there was something about picking up on, you know, before turning it into a satire, there's picking up on the seriousness of it. Mm-hmm. And with his experience, he was like, nah.
Yeah, exactly.
Not into this. Weirdly not into this fascist idea very much.
Man, it's like, I don't really want to like glorify this fascist idea.
Yeah, and you're like, that makes sense considering your background. I really want to get my hands on the book. I'm very curious.
So I really want to watch the anime. Yeah, I already said that.
One of us is cultured.
Yeah, the guy that watches anime. It's a different culture.
Shut up.
Weeb.
You said it, not me.
Oh, dude, I am a self whatever. Yeah, I'm definitely a weeb. I don't have a waifu pillow though yet.
Know what I'm getting for your birthday?
Please don't.
You're like, please don't. Really don't do that to me. I'll get Rufo in on it. Like, set this up for me.
Like, I'm gonna return this, guys, after I go in the bedroom with it for a while.
No more than 3, no less than 1 hour. Totally
okay, back to Starship Troopers. Where else have I written down? Yeah, I mean, I guess, I mean, the big thing is like the story of this movie is like, yeah, so we have Rico who he wants to join. Well, apparently, like he's not the best student or something. Like his parents, he's a rich kid, and his parents don't want him to join the infantry. but he wants to get citizenship in a natural way. And apparently the idea, like there's civilians and there's citizens.
And citizens have to be in the military for no less than 2 years.
And only citizens can vote. This is where the fascist idea, like so there's a deep world like inside of this movie.
Yeah.
Like a very...
You need to earn the right to vote. You need to, and they're like...
Which is very fascist.
It's a very interesting kind of thing too, because I was reading, there's this whole... And I just know that American audiences probably really, at this time too, probably critics too, harped on this. Because I read a few things about it, but the shower scene, there's a scene where they're all the cadets are taking a shower.
And it's cross-gendered. Or
it's a
unit.
There's a shower. Everyone showers. There's boobies, there's butts, there's stuff.
They did a really good job of covering crotches.
Yeah, and
angles.
even it also
I was really
it wasn't super gratuitous on the boobies either.
No, not at all. It was a very natural, like we're just we're shower scene. It's fucking like belly up type thing.
Yeah, and
it's a very Paul Verhoeven thing, honestly.
Yeah, and it's just like there was even just this like idea of that he wanted to take this sexuality out of it. It was literally just them, because even then the conversation is them all explaining why they enlisted.
Yeah, exactly.
And you need to be a politician to get a license to have children.
Yeah.
To go to college, the one that we have, to go to college, a full ride to college. And Rico is just kind of the odd man out because he did it for a girl.
Oh, and not Dina Meyer.
No. Did Dina Meyer ever tell her reason?
No, because she
says like, I know you're not gonna find out, or
no, she always dodged it because it was like, because I think it was like Rico called her out. You joined this infantry. You switched this infantry for.
I know, but then why'd she join the infantry?
Oh, probably citizenship in general.
Yeah. It does seem. Yeah, it's the military idea.
Because they're talking like all of them. They joined for citizenship. What they do with their citizenship is what they're expounding upon.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, they all joined for citizenship. But so that's kind of what I was saying about like they did a pretty good job of lore building, and it's very simple. It's very simple writing, but it was well done to where again, like we were saying, it creates this lived-in world.
Well, even like the separation between like pilots and like mercenary or the
infantry.
Infantry. Like, he calls them fucking jarheads. I was like, holy shit, dude.
Well, because even that's something in our military.
I know, exactly. Like the fucking the
infantry and pilots don't mix.
Yeah,
it's like,
and the girl that he went to war for is gonna be a pilot.
So
and she fucking breaks up with him. It's like, god damn it. That's actually that's a really like fun scene too, when they're like, "Oh, you got mail. Oh, she is a good looking one, Rico Hunch." Like, and that's why this is gonna be hard. I gotta break up. And they're like,
and that's what's interesting about
disappear into the bush.
Well, and then you have Jake and his, what was his name? I can't remember now.
I forget.
But yeah, Jake Busey, and he's all, he's kind of an asshole, kind of the smart Ace. Yeah, Ace is the smart ass of the group. The quick.
He's the one that I'm gonna make squad leader because I'm good at everything. Yeah, and he sucks at everything.
Yeah, and he's very kind of unlikable, and then they give him this one little moment, and then you're like, I'm now invested in Ace, even though again it's such a simple thing. And the characters are such archetype. Even the writer, even the director was talking about how he wanted a lot of these white, blue-eyed, like to go with the fascist thing. There was even, I didn't read, so I watched the movie and then I did the reading. That fucking scene when you see Neil Patrick Harris, they all look like Gestapo and SS agents. And I was like, is that an accident?
No.
And then I read, I was like, okay, that was on purpose.
All of even like the emblem design is based off of the fucking Third Reich eagle.
Yeah, and it's just and I was kind of picking up on that, but I kind of felt it was a little more.
It's Man in the High Castle.
Yeah, a little more subtle.
Yeah,
until I saw their outfits, they got the black hats with the long in the desert with the long black, and I think that's what it was too. that whole thing with being in the desert and them getting the brain bug and everything was very Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah,
very. Yeah. So that really, I don't know why that made me really, the Nazi thing really popped. You know, it was like, da, 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 da.
But not one Heil.
We're recording.
Right.
Oh yeah, just the reading about how shallow the script is and everything. This is actually one of those few instances where I'm like, I agree that it is shallow, but in this particular case, I don't think it's a bad thing.
I think because it's designed to be,
and it fits, and it works. Yes. It works for what it's trying to deliver to us.
It is really interesting going back, like looking at retrospective, how like it's now considered one of the best sci-fi movies ever made.
Yeah,
like I mean, on par with like what The Matrix was as well, because of like how much it's commenting on how close to a fascist society we have actually fallen into without realizing how much propaganda we feed into without realizing the propaganda we feed into.
Yeah, that's good propaganda.
Exactly.
And even then, too, with the director saying that he grew up watching propaganda movies.
Yeah.
In this German occupied area. So it was just kind of interesting in that regard, but it's also, it's good. It does like a good, it does a circle. I don't know if it's a good circle, but even, you know, towards the end of the movie, like the fact that, and that's what's kind of funny about it too, is like Rico is just skyrocketing through the ranks.
Well, because
before him is dying.
Yeah.
And it's funny in a not funny way.
Yeah. No, it's like when they walk up to the new squad and he's like, I guess we're the old guys here.
Yeah, they're a year older than everyone else.
Like they've only been at war for a year.
Yeah. We're the old man Ace. Or even like
which also kind of has this sense of like commentary of like passing the torch and like you're like, because he starts using all of the same phrases.
That did kind of drive me nuts, but I was like, that's drinking the Kool-Aid. That makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's also, it makes sense because if it worked on you, why wouldn't it work on them?
Exactly.
Because you're not Michael Ironside, and him saying that shit was a lot cooler. No offense, Rico.
Yeah, but those kids don't know that. Those kids...
It's true, yeah, but...
Are like...
No, but there's still some of the old squadron. Like, listen to this clown.
Listen, this motherfucker? You think he can just take his shit? You a roughneck now?
It's just like, it was really... Like, I did... That was probably, to me, the most cringy moments.
That's
I'll kill you myself, compared to, like... growling Ironside with the metal hand and he was the only character, and that was another thing too. I did really like, especially for this time. You know, we're kind of used to it now, but there was a time when you knew exactly who was going to live or die in a movie, and you know, shows like Game of Thrones and Walking Dead and all that really threw it up in the air of like, you know that a certain people probably aren't going to die, but everyone else is kind of free.
Well, Game of Thrones really threw that in the air.
Yeah, they really fucking went, fuck you!
Yeah, Ned Stark.
What? Yeah, I stopped watching it for a long time after that. I was really upset about Ned Stark.
How can they do that to my boy, Ned Stark?
I was really upset about that. But with this one, I liked that they threw that kind of to the wind.
With that grenade as well.
Yeah, like they really just...
I mean, kind of. I mean, I guess the only one that's surprising is Dina.
No, but... I just felt like, except for Rico, I felt like everyone was up for grabs. I thought every single person...
I never felt Denise Richards would be up for grabs.
I felt like she was up for grabs. I thought it was going to be... I could see it being a moment. Like, the only one I was really convinced, because I didn't really remember this movie. Like, I totally forgot that Dina died. I totally forgot about Riz. The only one I remember not dying was, I was like, I know Rico doesn't die.
Yeah.
But everyone else, I don't remember what happens to them.
That's fair. I mean, the whole thing is that it's his hero story, obviously. So he can't, in this container of a satire, he can't die. He'll have his repercussions. He will have his like he gets whipped. He gets his lashes for fucking up the squad leader and the live ammunition training shit. And that's his downfall, and then he has to rise back up in the ranks type thing. Everyone else, but then I do say for Denise Richards' character, since she is the love interest from the beginning, that it's a full circle thing. I would never expect her to die. Neil Patrick Harris' character is so minute through, important to the story, but minute on screen.
What's the point in killing him? We don't care.
Yeah.
Really.
Dina Meyer is the only death that we do care about, really, because she does become the actual love interest for Riz. I love that fucking Michael Ironstein's like, there's one thing, that I've learned from all this stuff is don't pass up a good thing. You dumb fuck. She is thirsty as fuck for you. Get in there.
Then the whole make it 20 minutes.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's great. And also, it blows my mind how Rico, even after Denise Richards breaks up with him, and Riz is throwing herself at him, and he's still just like, "Don't make me recommend you. I'm your superior now." It's like, dude,
because that would be annoying.
Dina Meyer's throwing herself at you.
It doesn't matter if you don't want it. You don't want it. It'd be annoying at a certain point. You'd be like, "Can you fuck off?" Anyways, back to not horny Riz.
I'm baffled.
Baffled.
All right, we're at an hour. We should be wrapping up.
And there's obviously a lot of carrots with this whole thing, like the not explaining but not really explaining of this strange ability the bugs have to throw asteroids
out of their butts.
They say,
"Oh, I know that's their missiles."
Yeah, they say something about trajectorying it with plasma, and then we just gotta go, okay.
The bugs have some type of advanced society of their own that is more nature based, I guess.
Yeah,
natural based. It's organic. There we go. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, then also the whole this takes place in. Where did it take place? Where's the hometown? It was in South America. I'm totally blanking on that.
I forget.
I never caught that.
Buenos Aires,
right? Buenos Aires, right?
Sound
BA?
Yeah, Buenos Aires?
No, I know, but they had an acronym for it rather than saying that every time. What was it, BB? I don't remember.
BA would be the...
I know. I don't know if that's right. But, I didn't catch that. I don't know. As a kid, maybe it's because from where I'm from, but I always assumed it was California.
Same.
I just always thought it was somewhere in Southern California. Mm-hmm. And then it wasn't until the asteroid, the map shows the asteroid landed. I was like, oh, okay. Never realized they were in South America that whole time. Okay. It felt like because even in the book, Rico is of Filipino descent.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
Do we want to talk about the whitewashing now?
There's definitely a commentary they were doing.
Yeah.
Colonialism.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, colonialism idea.
Yeah.
Everyone being, because it's like everybody in this movie is very white.
Yeah.
Except for there are a couple speckled in there.
That's also the 90s.
Yeah, it's fucking for real.
All right.
And then last thing, and then we can wrap it up and talk about the end here. I hated the ending, and then it grew on me. I was very surprised that it ended. I felt like the ending, when the credits rolled, I wasn't expecting the credits to roll.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because because this is at the end of the day is a war movie. You kind of
you thought they were gonna just win the war. But war never ends.
But it kind of does. We find the brain bug. And then we have our full circle. Now all of our young recruits are now are the icons recruiting the next wave of people. Mm-hmm. And then the credits roll, and I was kind of like, what the fuck? What? We're not done. We're not over.
Yeah, we got to go to play Helldivers now.
And then, I don't know, 20 minutes later, I was like, okay, that's very fitting to what this movie is.
Yeah.
But it was very, the credits, I was like,
interesting.
Horse shit. Like, what do you mean? It's not over.
Well, what are they wrapping up?
Beat the bugs.
Okay, let's add another hour to a movie that doesn't need it.
This movie's long.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours actually.
For what it is.
I don't feel like it though.
No. But I did you pause it occasionally, see where you're at, and I paused it and I was like, wait, what? Who said you could do that? But yeah. All right. So I just thought my reaction to the ending was kind of interesting. I was like, that was stupid. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that works. That makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't want to accept it, but
I have to. I will say that these are sequels I am not interested in.
No. I mean, kind of, yes.
Compared to the Omen last week that I'm actually kind of interested in.
No.
I am.
I'm actually more interested in Starship Trooper sequels than the Omen.
Really?
For me. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's our personality.
Because I want to see how bad they are. Because you know me,
they're also straight to home video.
Yeah.
So.
And I watched a clip for one of them, and bro, does it look bad.
The only ones I'd watch would be the animated ones. I wouldn't watch.
Well, what's funny is that Casper Van Dien
is the third one, and then the fourth one,
and the animated ones. Third one and the animated ones.
Yeah.
But not in the second one.
No, and it's a totally different.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
It looks like quite a departure.
Oh, 100%. It also is not directed by Paul Verhoeven as well, so that's a big thing.
Yeah.
But they're all written by the same guy that wrote the first one. Like he wrote them all.
That's so weird.
He probably just took the franchise into his own direction.
No, it's just so. I feel like just at least from the stuff we've done, it's so unheard of that it doesn't just get batoned off.
The only other franchise I can say that I know that has happened to is the Chucky series. It's the same writer for every single one, and the show. Like he's
interesting.
Showrunner.
All right, what are we giving it?
I'm saying a 4.
Really?
Yeah.
I am very surprised by that. Yeah.
I think just because of it's the container and the nature that it is of what it's created and everything, I think for its genre and what it is, it's a 4.
Yeah, for a satire about fascist military.
I mean, even if I was to step out and be like, you take it out of its container, just like overall the movie world lore or whatever, I would still give it like a 3.5.
That's what I was leaning towards with a 3.5.
But
because of that, because of just kind of certain for the movie part of it, it's like there are some faults that kind of bring it down a little bit.
Yeah.
So do you want to go with a 3.5?
Yeah, I'll settle for a 3.5
in the movie world.
Yeah,
it's if you like satires, it's a watch. If you like kind of weird military, it's a military movie, like almost a military comedy, military satire. And if you're a fan, of Helldivers and you've never heard of this movie, go watch it. Because it's Helldivers the movie. It really is. It's kind of wild.
Some might say that Helldivers is Starship Troopers, the game.
Yeah, but if the first thing you ingested was Helldivers, and I think it aged pretty well in the sense of the special effects and everything.
Yeah, that really. Yeah, the bugs, the tankers, but the like arachnid bugs, still terrifying as fuck. Also, oh god damn it, that's right. The fucking as soon as they get once they get deployed and that first wave and the arachnids all just like kill everybody pretty much, and there's
100,000 dead in 1 hour.
Yeah, just like retreat. It's like, what did you guys expect?
Yeah, you guys just went in blind.
You really see just how unprepared they really were for it.
Well, because it's like funny. That's why it's funny too, in the sense because it's like
we're all gung. It's like gung ho military. You think it's like we're gonna be the heroes.
We're gonna do it. No, well, it's because even in that whole like thing too with the bug thing, it's like these aren't Earth bugs that have like mutated into such and so. These are alien creatures that have
intelligence.
Yeah, but they're also they have evolved to.
I'm offended by you saying that a bug would have a brain.
But it's like these have evolved to their environment, but it's the same thing. It's like even with that though, it's like bugs have
racist goddamn.
But our bugs have evolved. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is like, okay, praying mantises, right? Apex predators of their environments,
the aliens of our world.
Yeah. So take that. Make it 6 feet tall and 7 feet long. It's a fucking xenomorph.
That's a movie.
You know what I mean? Like in the sense of, so it's like, just take any of our little bugs. That's what I love about the whole, they're just bugs. They're giant bugs. with razor sharp everything. That's what I liked about him too. Everything was razor sharp.
A giant roly-poly.
Nothing. Oh, it's time to. Yep, it's time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what we 3.5 in the final.
And the books. We'll find a pen later.
Mm-hmm. We have an idea what we're doing. We just gotta.
I don't remember anything we talked about last week.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll talk about that.
I mean, although I remember. I don't remember. I do remember some things, but I don't remember other things. I don't want to say anything until.
Thank you for joining us on TJ's Mixtape. We just finished episode 184 of Starship Troopers. Please join us next week for something. It's gonna be a movie. So yeah, 3.5 out of 5 carrots on Starship Troopers. Thank you for listening. Follow us on Instagram. You can see all of our promos there for what's coming up. On all of the promos is a link to our link tree where you can find all of our episodes. Spotify, Apple, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. We usually have video. Don't know what's going on with that guy. It might just be me. So
You'll see an animated drawing of me.
You'll see a picture. We really got to get you the Buddy Jesus one. So yeah, like, subscribe, go ahead and give a listen. Tell your friends. This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's Mixtape. Bye.
Bye.
Spread democracy. Manage democracy.
Damn it.
What?
That's gotta be.
Oh man, your camera's off.